Ever wondered what would happen when a twisted game of two people turns an evening quiet night into a horror of blood and betrayal? Stay tuned, because today we're exploring the extremely graphic and raunchy films you never knew were hiding for free on Tubi. The ones that will make you wonder about your late-night browsing habits. I'm referring to movies that not only push the envelope, but blow it to pieces with gore, sex, and shock value that'll have you glued to the screen. We've got 10 suggestions that are both terrifying and mesmerizing, and all ready to stream now. Let's get going, beginning with number 10. Number 10. Cheap Thrills, released in 2013. Imagine this. Two hard-luck friends, Craig and Vince, meet up at a seedy dive after years away from each other, drowning their sorrows in bottom-shelf whiskey. Along come a polished, smirking pair who roll into the booth like they own the place, flaunting clumps of cash and eyes full of wickedness. What begins as harmless wagers, drink a beer or beat your friend stupid, devolves into something that would be out of a nightmare. We're talking cutting yourself on your own skin for a wager. Or worse, the kind of shame that has you standing there gaping at the ground. The camera holds on each drop of sweat, each uncertain smile to grimace, creating this crushing tension as the evening unspools. It's not so much the violence that catches you out, it's how it reveals how low desperation will lead you down. All housed in this dark black comedy that has you chuckling inanely one moment and covering your eyes the next. If you ever wanted to know what goes on when money and moral rot collide, this is your sick response. Light it up on Tubi and enjoy that nice smolder. Number 9. Autofocus, released in 2002. Fade in on the all-American smile of Bob Crane, Hogan's Heroes star, radiating through black and white television sets, charming housewives nationwide. But behind that veneer, the screen bursts apart to show a man disintegrating in the light of home video cameras, pursuing highs that begin with groupies and lead to something a great deal more sinister, explicit tapes spilling in hotel rooms, flesh mashed against lenses in garbled detail, as Crane's friend John Carpenter goads him on, and their friendship becomes a maelstrom of addiction and excess. The images are brutal. Close-ups on empty eyes after day-long sex marathons that become indistinguishable from days, punctuated by glimpses of Crane's disintegrating domestic life. Children left waiting while dad is lost in the fog. It's a downward spiral, filmed with this voyeuristic closeness that makes you complicit, as if you're looking through the keyhole at Hollywood's seedy side. By the time the shadows close in on Crane's final days, you'll feel that chill of recognition, how fame's bright lights can hide the rot underneath. Tubi's got it waiting, so brace yourself for the unfiltered truth. Number 8. Kill List, released in 2011. It kicks off so normal, you almost forget you're in for hell. Jay, a contract killer with a hangover from a failed assignment, fights with his wife Shell about bills and bedtime stories for the child. The kitchen light switching on and off like a curse. But then there is the call. An ordinary job for 3 murders, quick money to repair their collapsing existence. But as Jay and his accomplice Gal plunge into it, the camera accompanies them into the rain-drenched English suburbs, where the initial strike becomes a bout of hammering blows and gurgling screams, blood spewing across floral wallpaper in stark, handheld anarchy. What next? A librarian with secrets culminating in a shotgun blast to the stomach, intestines spilling like wet confetti. And the third, man oh man, it contorts into pagan ceremonies under moonlit forests, bodies twisting in firelit torment. The kind of folk terror that seeps into your skin and won't leave. The audio alone, those smothered screams resonating in your headphones, will leave you stopping to draw breath. It's a marriage thriller, shrouded in crime and cult horror, leaving you suspecting every shadow. Stream it on Tubi if you're brave, but perhaps leave the lights on. Number 7. High Tension, released in 2003. Out in the middle of nowhere in the French countryside, Marie drives up to an isolated farmhouse for an overnight slumber party with her college friend Alex, the type of place where crickets sing louder than secrets. But at midnight comes a chainsaw maniac bursting through the door, his shadowy figure looming over the hallway light as he hacks into Alex's parents, arterial spray decorating the walls in rhythmic arcs of crimson. Marie cowers in the shadows, heart racing, observing limbs separate and heads roll on checkered floors. The gore so real you can smell the copper sting. She battles back, crawling through dewy cornfields in desperation, the killer's breath on her neck in the chase sequences that throb with unrelenting horror. And that twist ending. It turns everything you believed on its head, plumbing psychological depths with a revelation that'll leave you rewinding in shock, questioning each image. Paced with this unrelenting energy, it's slasher perfection. The body's broken and the spirit's shattered in equal proportion. Tubi's keeping this secret under wraps, so play and lock the doors, because once it begins, you can't look away from the suspense. Number 6. Evil Dead, released in 1981. A group of 5 friends stuffed themselves into a wrecked station wagon, careening down muddy Tennessee backroads to a dilapidated cabin, creaking floorboards and cobwebbed beams, murmuring threats they ignore. Curiosity shatters the Book of the Dead, releasing demons that possess her one by one, transforming Sweet Ash's sister into a snarling monster who claws at her own face, vines erupting from possessed flesh like living terror. The camera jolts as blood engulfs the basement, severed hands scurrying across walls, and chainsaws roar to life against hordes of demons. Gore erupting in stop-motion carnage that's equal parts hideous and hilarious. Imagine pencil stabbings into the ankle, geysers of red from each gash, all gouged to that classic groaning cabin wind. It's the template for Cabin in the Woods pandemonium, where terror struggles with laughter for each passing second. Sam Raimi's budget flick sorcery makes each splatter letter perfect, and on Tubi, it's free to revisit that possession terror. Get some popcorn, but perhaps avoid the red stuff. Number 5. Drag Me to Hell, released in 2009. Christine is merely attempting to climb the bank ladder, courteous smiles concealing her own vulnerabilities when she refuses credit to a slouching gypsy woman with eyes like burning embers. That evening, the curse strikes. Fly swarm demon banging her into car roofs, maggots squirming from her nostrils in close-up revulsion that leaves you gagging. Visions attack her, a goat-faced monstrosity pulling souls over hellfire pits, and her boss's funeral becomes a seance where the corpse sits up, spewing out bile over the casket in a spray of sickly green. Sam Raimi turns the comedy horror dial up to 11, with Christine's increasingly frantic freakouts, from nightmare goat rides to button-sewing dread on her lips, all culminating in a flaming redemption finale that's as disgusting as it is victorious. The practical effects glow, each squelch and each splatter calculated to make you cringe and laugh. It's a wild ride of karmic payback, streaming free on Tubi, perfect for when you need horror with a side of schadenfreude. Number 4. The House That Jack Built, released in 2018. Jack's no ordinary engineer. He's an artist with a blueprint for murder, confessing his works to a shadowy verge as the screen fills with Polaroids of carnage. Incident 1. A rain-soaked highway stop, her skull smashed against the dashboard in a flash of red, body pulled and discarded like rolled-up canvas. By Incident 5, he's increasing the stakes. Children solicited by vans for game that culminate in freezer storage, limbs posed in monstrous symmetry, the camera swinging languidly over blue-veined skin and empty stares. Lars von Trier integrates philosophy into the gross, Jack reciting Dante in the midst of debauchery, frames holding on the gutted bodies and kid-sized stains that push all boundaries. It's cerebral gore, gorgeous and ghastly, with Matt Dillon's stylin menace delivering the fright that bites more. If you can stomach it, Tubi streaming this tour de force of madness, but it'll haunt like a nightmare. Number 3. Ichi the Killer, released in 2001. Tokyo's seedy side beats with Yakuza turf battles, but you're never quite ready for Kakihara, sadomasochistic thug with sewn-up cheeks and a blade-tongued smile, cutting down competitors from groin to grin in spouts of arterial red. Meet Ichi, the sobbing assassin activated by tears, who wields katana rage on goons, feet halved mid-kick, faces stripped like fruit in slow-motion sprays that stain the alleys. Takashi Miike luxuriates in the sleaze, hooker torture scenes in a sweat and screams, bodies twisted in ecstasy and pain, soundtrack pounding like an open wound. It's manga excess on steroids, each cut and thrust a delirious dance of violence that dissolves pain and pleasure. You'll cringe, you'll look away, but for crying out loud, it draws you back in. Tubi's got this cult favorite uncut. Then, if blood-soaked Asian cinema is your guilty pleasure, get deep. Number 2. Blade of the Immortal, released in 2017. Manji the Immortal Ronin, blessed with wounds that are healed in a matter of seconds, protects hot-blooded young Rin from bamboo groves filled with ambush in feudal Japan. Assassins swarm in locust hordes, throats slit by razor wire in dawn mist, entrails unspooling like ropes as manji swords whirl, fingers regrown mid-battle in bloody rebirths, limbs spin in choreographed mayhem, heads sheared off to spin in the earth, kimonos drenched blood red under cherry blossoms that rain like hellish confetti. Meek's remake overflows with revenge passion. Rin's katana clashing alongside Manji's chain and spike arsenal, each duel a chorus of torn tendons and snapping bone. The action explodes with wuxia pizzazz, slow-mo sprays, and impossible gymnastics amidst the carnage. It's sweeping, erotic in its violence, and Tubi streaming it for free, waiting to immortalize your bloodlust. Number 1. The Devil's Double, released in 2011. Best of the worst is this Saddam-era fever dream trip, where Latif, an Iraqi soldier, is pulled from the trenches to impersonate Uday Hussein, the dictator's son playboy with a passion for terror. Dominic Cooper doubles up, one face raving with power, the other stuck in reflected hell, as Uday's parties break down into orgies of excess, naked bodies twisting in gold-plated excess, only to snap into rape and murder under chandelier light, machine gun killings at weddings, brides killed in white silk dyed red, or hospital takeovers with doctors dragged out, necks cut in fluorescent glare, blood dripping on linoleum. The camera follows Latif's increasing terror, tight on slick skin in escape attempts, bombs shattering Baghdad nights. True madness to the real, filmed with manic intensity that reflects the perversion and paranoia of unchecked power. Tubi brings this raw biopic punch. Then, if historical horror with a shot of sleaze is your thing, begin here. Woo, there you go. 10 gut-wrenching, boundary-pushing flicks lurking in plain sight on Tubi that'll have you staying up way late. Which one's hooking you first? Or did I leave out a raunchy classic you swear by? Leave it in the comments. Smash that like if you're lining one up tonight, and subscribe to Kindlight for more in-depth dives into the crazy world of free streaming shocks. Thanks for watching, remain spooky, and I'll catch you in the next one.